Hi guys, hope everybody is doing really well today. This is a really interesting tool haul for me, really cool. How this came about is been in the running for a long time. About 8-9 months ago, I saw a chap on Facebook post a few items. He's in Denmark and he had a huge collection of tools. Looked like he'd just bought out a whole collection. I contacted him and said, look, I'd be interested in buying some of your items off you if possible. We went into the deal a little bit, and the guy, for whatever reason, the chap actually was too busy, and he said I'm going to be setting up an online shop, and I'm probably going to put them on there when I list them. So that was that. So I said, well, if you change your mind, contact me, because there's some of the items I'm really interested in buying off you if possible. So a short time later, about 8 months, he contacts me the other day and he says, look, I'm setting up an actual physical shop now. I'm not doing online. He's mostly specialising in axes and other agricultural and larger tools. He says, and I'm willing to reopen the deal on some of those items. So I thought, that's fantastic. So he sent me some pictures of his store and what he's doing. I think he's doing an absolutely amazing, and I mean an amazing job. This store is in Denmark, and I'll go into it a bit further. So I'll show you some pictures of his store. So I really can't wait to see that finished. I think it's going to be amazing. So we've been going back and forth for a few days. He showed me some more items which I didn't see previously, and these are the items I bought off him. Some very rare items indeed, and I paid him a bloody lot of money, trust me, an absolutely huge amount of money. But there's some interesting items here, so I'm kind of interested to see how this goes. So basically, let's get into it. So we've got these chisels. These are made in the 1980s, and apparently the story with these is Bahco made them so high quality that they actually couldn't make a profit, so they stopped making them. So they're quite collectible. So this is a 32mm, a 20mm, a 10mm, and a 6mm. These chisels are quite collectible and can go for hundreds of euros, apparently, in good condition for a set. I bought these because a chap, Swiss Tool, on Instagram said he was interested in buying them, and he's got some bits I want, so I bought them for him. So that's that. So hopefully they'll go to Swiss Tool, but I still think they're really nice, and if he doesn't want them, I'm going to clean them up and I'm going to use them because they look like really nice chisels. So that's that. They'll probably go to that my mate, my buddy. The next item is this is a Bahco box of jaws. Now I thought this was full of jaws, but it's actually full of these sort of secutaire sort of bits and bobs. So I'm not sure what these are for. I'm kind of wondering, my buddy Alex bought a set of secutaires, and I'm wondering, are these spare blades for them secutaires? He said he wondered if he could get a blade for it. I wonder if those are the blades. We got some ones in paper here, look to be brand new, and I'm just wondering if those are the ones Alex are after. So we'll have to compare those at a later date and see if they are. They come with a couple of these little nuts, so I'm wondering if they're from something like this. Is it in here? Pliers. Alex has got something along the lines of this, and I'm wondering, is this the spare blade for Alex's secutaires? But we shall see. Right, so those are interesting. This is a Bahco #1, quite a rare little wrench. It's got a heck of a twist in it, so it needs some straightening and it needs some serious cleaning. But the thumb wheel's in good condition, no damages on that, and it looks to be in okay condition apart from the extreme twist. Quite a rare wrench, so I was happy to pick that up. We've got here, which is a Bahco Clydeburn #71, in really lovely condition actually, really sharp, just needs a good clean and a wax. But what's really good about this is the special markings on the jaw. I've never seen one what's not marked on both jaws before, so that makes this a little bit more interesting than the average. So I was super happy to pick that up. A Bahco Clyburn with the interesting jaw. I know I'm sad, but you know, it is what it is. But in lovely condition. I think other than a little bit of pitting, this is pretty much NOS. So I'm going to clean this up and put some wax on it. We've got a very collectible item here, which is a Nestle branded miniature hatchet crate tool. Very, very unusual design. I just love the angles on it. I absolutely love the angles on it. It's got the nail puller at the end. But when you guys do the guess the price, and I'll tell you at the end when you've guessed how much I paid for this, I think you might be shocked. But the chap who I bought it from, Christian, said this is very collectible and it's very interesting to me, so I decided to buy it off him. I think it's a lovely item, so thank you, Christian. But it wasn't cheap, this item, let me put it that way. Right, so now we're into the three possibly most interesting items. We've got here what looks to be a very early Bahco number 92 wrench, which needs a good clean up. Kind of an interesting design. Now I've got a funny feeling this could be quite an early model, and quite a rare one, but I do see these quite a lot on Swedish eBay and they go for very low money, but I think this is a slightly earlier version. You can tell that by the knurlings, very basic. So I'm going to clean this up and maybe do a little bit more research on that if I can. The next item I'm very interested in, and I'm a bit confused by, because this looks like to me like a Van Dooley's wrench, but it's got a very unusual adaptation to it, which looks to be factory to me. I mean, it's hard to really show it, but it looks so well built. It's obviously adjusts up and down to turn the top into a pipe wrench and the bottom into a standard wrench. So I thought this was probably a Van Dooley's what's been adapted, but I've looked at my Van Dooley's, so this is the size up from it, and you can see it's a much bigger wrench. If you compare the bottom jaw, you can see it's, you know, it's much bigger. And then this is the size below it, which is much smaller. So, and they go in 5 centimeter sort of sizes. So I'm wondering, is this a different wrench? Because it's a different size to the number 3 and the number 2.5. And then there's a number 2. So, oh, this is a number 2. Maybe it is a number 2. Let me have a look. Can't seem to find the number 2, but anyway, this is rather interesting. It's rather dirty, but it's rather interesting to me. So this needs to be disassembled, cleaned, and a closer look at. But that rivet to me looks so factory. I'm wondering if is this a very rare wrench, because I've never seen one before. So I'll be very interested to find out more about that. The next item is this is the star of the lot, and the reason why the lot was so expensive. This is an extremely rare, kind of stuck but extremely rare Bahco number 55. Very cool indeed. This was made only for a couple of years, from about 1910 to 1913 kind of time, and it's very rare. I have 3 of these, and this is the 4th one. The last one of these went for £700 on bids on Tradera, and the chap I bought it off was aware of that, but I still think he gave me a fair price, so I'm very grateful, so thank you, Christian. So yeah, so we've got some very interesting items, but they are quite dirty. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean these up a little bit, and then we're going to come back and take a look. So we'll get on with that, and then we'll have a closer look at them, and then you can work out which is your favourite item. All right? Right guys, so I've give those a little clean up, not particularly well, just to get most of the muck off so my hands are not black when touching. So this is, you can see some of the writing now on this hatchet, it's much clearer. I think that's come out quite nice. Nestle, the old cereal maker. So I really like that hatchet. The Bahco Clyburn, really rather nice. Oh, sorry. You can see on this side it's got the jaw number 71, nice and clean. Still got some of the original patina. This one is in really good condition, almost NOS, really nice. We've got the Bahco number 1, that's cleaned up rather nice. But this is the most exciting one for me. If you look carefully, you can see some writing just there. DRG I can make out there, DRG, and I've seen that before. I don't think this has been done aftermarket. If you look at the quality of the jaws and the quality of the teeth, I think this is an early wrench. You know what, you can use it just as a standard wrench, or you can use it as a pipe wrench. Rather interesting design, don't you think? So I'm very intrigued by this wrench. Rather interesting and different to the standard ones, but you can see it's basically the same wrench. So yeah, really interesting. I think it's too well made for it to be, you know, just made by in someone's garage. That peening and drilling, and I think this is possibly a prototype or just something what didn't go off the ground that well, but very cool, very cool indeed. Now we've got this early Bahco. If you look at the knurling on that thumb screw, it's very primitive, you know, very basic knurling. And if I get one of my earliest Bahco tools, you can see that the very similar in the style of and the thread. So I think this is a very early, probably 1895 to 1900, something like that, pipe wrench, because the rivets are very similar, the knurling is very similar, the style of it is very similar. So very cool indeed. So the markings are different. This is more the earlier markings with the cross. So I'm not sure, but I think it's an early one, because the more modern ones from the 1920s had very sharp knurling, very sort of engineered. So very early Bahco pipe wrench. So that's super cool. I think this type's still pretty common comparative to some of the other types, but still I think that's a really interesting thing. Yeah, so we got the chisels, beautifully made chisels these are, really feel quality, nice steel, comes up lovely. Need to clean the plastic, there's some bits in the grip, so just basically give them a very light clean, nothing too heavy duty. And then the pièce de résistance is this Bahco. Very cool. So I'll show you all those together now. So this is the full collection of this type of rare Bahco wrench. I've been collecting now since the 16th of October is when I got my very first Bahco item. So on the 16th of October I think I'll do a catch-up video of what Bahco items I've managed to collect since I started collecting. It's been my 1 year anniversary for collecting Bahco tools on the 16th of October. So this is a number 1, 2, 3 and 5, 55. It goes up to 58, and then there's a 60 series which goes from 1 to 8 as well. I don't have any of those, but I think I'm doing well to have 3 of this type because they are pretty difficult to find. Alright, hopefully you enjoyed that video. Put in the comments which is your favourite item. I think there's quite a few nice items in this haul. I mean, this really cool hatchet is going to be surely someone's favourite. And then we've got that really cool Van Dooley's or Van Dyle's patent with the very cool pipe wrench adapter. Never seen anything like that before. Super interesting. And then we've got the other Bahco item, for me is also an interesting item, the Bahco Clyburn with the very rare inset jaw. So lots of items to choose from. Hopefully you enjoyed this tool haul. A massive thank you to Christian. Go check Christian's channel out, the channel links below, his Instagram anyway. Massive thank you to you, Christian, for hooking me up. All right, hopefully you enjoyed this. Don't forget to put your favourite item in the comments. Also, how much do you think I paid for all the items? My advice is don't go too low. All right, take care. Have a great day. Bye.